Good evening and welcome to this edition of Lady Eagles basketball. I'm Noah Frary, going to be joined by Nathaniel Penley for this game. The Lady Eagles come into this game riding high. They've won 5 games in a row. They improved to 12-9 on the season last night, 9-0 in conference play. They're going to look to make it a perfect 10-0 tonight. They're going to be facing another set of Eagles, the Toccoa Falls Screamin' Eagles. They come into this game losers of 5 in a row, 5-16 overall. Should be another good conference matchup between these two teams. We're going to go ahead and take an opportunity to meet the Lady Eagles, and we'll be back to break down what to expect in this basketball game. And we're back as we get ready for this basketball game. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Another good conference matchup for the Lady Eagles. Nathaniel, last night's game was an offensive showcase for the Lady Eagles. You were here. They came on strong. They were hitting early on that third quarter. They scored 30 points. Really everything going right for the Lady Eagles on offense last evening.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. They really are a lot of fun to watch. When they are hitting. Coach was able to play a lot of the subs, knowing that he's got a back-to-back couple games right here. So it was good to get the subs in there. But yeah, I mean, if they come out like they did yesterday, putting up shots, making all their shots, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them like this today.
You mentioned the subs for the Lady Eagles. They were able to outscore Trinity Baptist 43-5 in bench points last night. Caitlin Benedict spearheaded that effort with 19. Talk to me about the importance that she brings off the bench for this Lady Eagles basketball team.
It's so big to be able to come in off your bench and give your starters a break. Two really strong players coming off the bench. You mentioned Caitlin. She's going to come out. She knows her role. She's going to put up threes. That's what she does. And then you got Hope Baker coming off for defensive purposes. She's a great defender. She also runs the point, sets up a lot of the bench players. But yeah, it's very important for them to come off the bench and have a big game.
Now for the Lady Eagles, you can't talk about them without talking about the play of Lauren Alvarez. Another huge game for her last night, 16 rebounds, 12 points. She had a double-double at halftime. She's really turned herself into an absolute double-double machine this season. Talk to me about her play so far early on in the season.
Yeah, she's obviously the leader on this team. If she doesn't have it going, it's tough for other players to mentally be strong and get everything going. So she's going to need to bring the energy just like she does almost every night. And then right behind her is Sandy. McElhenney had a great game last night also. Missed a triple-double by, you mentioned, 2 assists. So it's it's going to be big for her to get off to a good game too.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked the last couple of games, you know, early on in the season, Sandy McElhaney maybe just not having that same confidence level that we saw her at the end of the season. You know, I joked with her the other night. I said, hey, is this the first time you've ever been in a slump in your career? I mean, she scored 2,500 points at the high school level. Wow. You can't do that by going through slumps. So really her first time, maybe that sophomore slump, but, man, she's really been turning it on.
She has. And I mean, sophomore slump, I mean, like you said, it may be her first time in it, so it may be really tough for her to find a way out. But she's found some bright spots along the way. She's had some good games. She started shooting really good at a couple games. But right now it's just a little streaky. So she's trying to find a way to get a little bit more consistent for her team.
And then I think a big X factor in tonight's game, someone to look out for, someone I told before that game, I think she's going for double digits in this one, but Emma Hardy. She's been getting in some early foul trouble, and that's really kind of hurting her rhythm in this game. She ended up scoring, I believe, 5 or 6 in the third quarter. Last night, it was 5 points. She finished with 5. But talk about her play and how important that is. I mean, we've got some really strong rebounding guards, but this team gets a lot better when Emma Hardy's playing strong inside and even in the zone sometimes getting out and picking up that easy three-pointer.
Yeah, it seems like almost like every time I watch one of their games, she's finding herself in foul trouble. But every time she is on the floor, she has such a huge impact on the game. I mean, she's consistent in making some good shots, and then defensively, she's really big defensively. So it's going to be really important for her to stay out of foul trouble and be able to get some playing time.
And let's take a chance now to talk about the Screaming Eagles. A tough stretch for them. They've lost 5 in a row. They're sitting at 5-16 on the season, but they've had some close games of late. They played Trinity Baptist tight. They had another close game against Johnson University of Florida. What's something that they need to do tonight if they hope to compete with this Lady Eagles team that, as we saw last night, very deep, very athletic, and well-conditioned?
Yeah, well, one of the bright spots on their team is number 20, Jordan Reed. I was talking to Coach he was talking to me about her and said that she just reached her 1,000 career points mark. I believe it was last game. So she's going to be a big key in this game. I mean, if our Eagles are going to be able to compete with these and to beat them, they're going to have to hold her in check.
Now, I gave you my X Factor player for tonight. Who's the player that, from your perspective, you're looking out for in this game that could potentially make a difference, whether it be in the starting lineup or off the bench?
I think it's Caitlin Benedict right off the bench. If she comes in, 6th or 7th man, come in, find some open shots, maybe get a layup or something. Usually she's really good at just coming in right off the bench and just nailing her first 3. So if she can get off to a good start, that'll really help the Eagles.
Lady Eagles come into this matchup, as I mentioned, winners of 5 in a row, 9 of their last 11 games. They're ranked number 2 in the nation so far this year. They're having a great start and working to have a great finish to their season. We're going to throw it down to the court now. We're going to have prayer, national anthem, and starting lineups up next. Want to thank you for tuning in and looking forward to a good game this evening.
Welcome to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Today's game is between the PCC Lady Eagles and Toccoa Falls College. The National Christian College Athletic Association is committed to the true spirit of competition and upholding the 4 core values of the game plan for life: love, integrity, faith, and excellence. We ask that each participant, official, and spectator join us in exhibiting these Christ-like characteristics and help create a positive environment in which to enjoy today's competition. At this time, please stand for prayer.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this evening. Lord, we thank you that you died on the cross for us. Thank you for your grace and the way you show it to us every day. Lord, thank you for Toccoa Falls, and thank you that you allowed them to get here safely. Lord, help us as we start the game tonight. Lord, help the fans and the players alike. Lord, help us to glorify you with what we say and what we do. In Christ's name, amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's
Sports medicine coverage is provided by the Andrews Institute and Baptist Healthcare, the official sports medicine provider for Pensacola Christian College. Starting tonight for Toccoa Fall College, number 5, Kashami Smith. Number 20, Jordan Reed. Number 22, Whitney Harris. Number 23, Grace Crow. And number 24, Jada Jones. Toccoa is led by Coach Tyler Chapman. And now, your Pensacola Christian College Lady Eagles! Starting tonight, a sophomore from Athens, Tennessee, number 2, Sandy McElhaney. A freshman from Louisville, Texas, number 3, Leah Phelps. The sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, number 5, Lauren Alvarez. A junior from Baxter's, Minnesota, number 21, Grace Himdak. And the senior from Salem, Oregon, number 23, Emma Hardy. The Lady Eagles are led by Coach Jared Sellers, with assistant coaches Heather Sellers and Adrian Wilson. Officiating for today's game are Rodney Taylor, Sherry Taylor-Rose, and Steve Beringer.
And there you have it, the starting lineups for both squads in this one for the visiting Screaming Eagles. Number 5, Kashami Smith. Number 20, Jordan Reed. Number 22, Whitney Harris. Number 23, Grace Crowell. And rounding out the starting 5 for head coach Tyler Chapman in his first season, number 24, Jada Jones. And for your Pensacola Christian College Lady Eagles in this game, up top, number 2, Sandy McElhaney. The freshman from Louisville, Texas, number 3, Leah Phelps. The star player in the middle, number 5, Lauren Alvarez. All the way from Baxter, Minnesota, number 21, Grace Imdek. And rounding out the starting 5 for head coach Jared Sellers in his 8th season, number 23, Emma Hardy. Hardy and Jones to tip it. Toccoa wins the opening tip. Wanted to throw a little bit of news here at you. We're going to be trying something new a little bit later on in the broadcast. We're working to bring you some instant replays in this game. We're going to be looking out for that first made three-pointer for the Lady Eagles, and we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. We've tried it a couple times, but we're going to see how it goes in this game. Here's Alvarez, that three-pointer on the way, no good. So be looking out for the first made three-pointer by the Lady Eagles in this game. Here comes the Screaming Eagles now. A second three-pointer for them on the way, no good. Alvarez came down with the rebound. Here come the Lady Eagles as they push it. Alvarez over to Phelps, 3 on the way, and it's good. Let's take another look at that. Well, it didn't work that time. We're going to have to give it another shot a little bit later on in the game. So we're still working out the kinks there. We're going to try to get that right. We're going to give it another shot in the second quarter. That first made three-pointer in the second quarter. We'll see if we can get it right. Here's the inbound now to Hardy. Lady Eagles going to work it around the skip pass over to Phelps. Hardy now gets open, takes the three-pointer, missed that one. 3-3 on the scoreboard after Phelps made the early 3 to tie it up for the Lady Eagles.
That first 3 by Phelps came from Lauren Alvarez pushing the fast break, so maybe the Eagles can keep doing that.
Here's Reed as she brings it across. Smith now drives, got past Imdek, tried to send it back, had it tipped, but Toccoa Falls gets it back. Here's Smith inside, throws it up, off the backboard, no good, as Crowell came down with it. Now the three-pointer by Jordan Reed misses as well. And the Lady Eagles get it back. Hardy in stride, three-pointer. Off the rim, and McElhaney gets called over the back.
The Eagles have sat back in a 2-3 zone the last couple games that I've watched, and one of the weaknesses of a zone is rebounding, but I think something that we can take advantage of is the height that we have against them. Their tallest player at 5'8" is Jones, and then we got two bigs at 5'11" and 6 foot, and Emma Hardy and Grace Imdeck.
Reed with the basketball finds Smith on the wing. Smith got around one, now kicks out to Reed on the wing. That three-pointer long. You see Jordan Reed airball that. You see her arm really taped up. Nathaniel, do you think does that affect your shot a little bit?
Yeah, that could, and not just physically, but also mentally, just knowing that that tape is all around there. So that could play a big part potentially in this game.
McElhaney, Alvarez thought about the three, now gets called for the walk. She thought she kept the pivot foot there, but gets called for the walk. A sloppy start so far for the Lady Eagles in this game.
Yeah, and then the defensive end for the Eagles, you see Smith, number 5 for the Screaming Eagles. I mean, she's doing a great job setting up her team by attacking the zone and finding open shooters. The shooters just haven't been able to capitalize. As Lauren is pushing the fast break again.
McElhaney had it, tried to get it inside to Alvarez, battle for the basketball. Lady Eagles came away with it. Now Imdeck left open, three-pointer. It's good.
It's nice to have shooters all around the court. When you're two bigs, Imdeck and Hardy can really hit that three. It's so nice. It opens up the floor.
6 early points for the Lady Eagles, all on three-pointers. Phelps with 3, Imdeck with 3 after that made basket. Here's Smith, thought about trying to answer, now drives inside, throws it up high, but Alvarez snuck in there and picked up another rebound. Here's McElhaney from the wing. That shot no good. Gonna be a foul called on the Lady Eagles, this time on Imdeck.
And the Eagles have been able to find some open shots, mainly coming from the fast break. I mean, we've seen Lauren pushing the break 3 times already and finding an open 3. We just got to start hitting them.
Baker checking in now for Imdeck. We saw this lineup last night with some extra guards on the floor. You got 4 guards out there. You got the big inside with Emma Hardy.
Yeah, he really likes going to this smaller lineup. Makes them a lot faster, and maybe they'll be able to capitalize more on the fast break.
That shot missed, but Jackson able to get the rebound. Her follow-up effort no good. Phelps on the other side. The quick pull-up jumper missed.
The Eagles are getting shots. You know, they're putting up a lot of shots already. They just haven't been able to put any in, or they put 2 in, but they just haven't been able to get a lot to fall as they're pushing the fast break once again.
And Nathaniel, you know as well as I do, that's a strategy that they like to employ. Now the ball swung, Phelps, corner 3, no good. But again, that's a strategy head coach Jared Sellers looks to employ. He's trying to get 70, 75 shots. And if his team shoots 50%, it's going to be a phenomenal game. But even if you shoot 30% with that amount of quantity, you're going to have a good offensive output. Alvarez left open. She tried to get inside and missed the layup.
And especially with all these guards going on the fast break, I mean, he knows they can shoot, so why not have your game plan for them to push the break and for them to shoot?
Hardy had the steal. Now up ahead, McElhaney gave it to Phelps. She wasn't able to handle it, but kept control. Now we're going to have a jump ball. Toccoa Falls basketball. Benedict and McElhaney check in.
He's getting some subs in here early as the starters haven't been able to shoot too well.
Hasn't been that same gelling that you saw a little bit last night. There was points in last night's game. You're sitting here watching those 5 out on the court, and it was seamless. Tonight it seems a little bit out of sorts, and that could just be playing a full game last night and then jumping right back. You had the tailgate before this. You got some good food in you, so maybe a little bit slow start for the Lady Eagles.
And it's also just because they haven't seen the ball really go in the bucket. I mean, last night they put up some shots. They just started falling, and once you see it go in the bucket, I mean, it's just contagious. All your players will start hitting everything, so they just haven't seen that yet.
Love that play right there. They've been missing from behind the three-point arc that time. They got it inside to Hardy, and she was able to finish. Here's Reed on the other end. No good. Baker got her hands on it first, and the Lady Eagles get it back. Here's the give to McElhaney. Benedict tries to drive, now steps back, pull up, no good. The Eagles lead, but they've left a few points on the court early on here. Smith inside, gives it to Jackson. Now pass back out. Reed blocked by Hardy. A great job there by Hardy to stay straight up. We've seen her get called for some early fouls, and that was an opportunity right there, but that time she stays straight up.
And I think she's really learned over the course of this season. I mean, I know from personal experience, it's so frustrating. Looking forward to a game, getting to play, and then getting 2 quick fouls and having to sit. So she's learned over this season to go straight up. She'll get her blocks. I mean, they'll come into her, so she'll let them come to her.
Three-pointer by Reed. Misses. And I think Jackson going to get called for the foul behind. First foul on Toccoa Falls in the basketball game. Lady Eagles have 2. First foul on Toccoa Falls and first on Jackson. They've got Benedict on the wing. Feeds it inside, was looking to get it to Spivey. Somehow Jordan got it back to her. But Spivey's layup a bit too high. Jackson with the 17-footer, missed it. Cindy McElhaney now got a wide open Caitlin Benedict on the break. Benedict gonna lay it up off the glass. A great job there though by Benedict. She saw the rebound happen and kind of leaked out a little bit early, and that just left a wide open layup opportunity.
And something that's really stuck out is there's no starters on the court right now. I mean, coach is taking them all out just maybe because, I mean, they haven't been shooting or they haven't been making or anything. I don't know, but he's got no starters on the court, and I mean the bench has found a way to put some points up.
And that matchup there, Cindy McElhaney, Caitlin Benedict, you've got to love having those 2 players off the bench. We saw Cindy early on in the season. She was playing 35 minutes before that knee injury. Head coach Jared Sellers kind of slowly getting her back into the lineup, but you're starting to see her play at a little bit more full speed, what you're used to seeing out of her.
Well, yeah, and that's really nice for coach to have her back. I mean, he already has 2 strong players in Benedict and Baker, but to have her as another guard, he loves playing with his guards that'll run and shoot, so it's nice to have her back.
Timeout on the floor. Lady Eagles lead by 5. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with live action. Toccoa Falls basketball. The official letting Reed know that she could run the baseline but didn't need it. Lady Eagles come out of the timeout in the press. Toccoa Falls able to break through. Benedict playing some hard-nosed defense over there on Harris. Out of bounds off Benedict, with some good on-ball defense from Caitlin Benedict.
And that's really nice to see, knowing that she's a shooter and she's gonna give you the offense that you need. But to see her play some hard defense, that's good to see.
Montgomery swinging it around, gets it back, drives. A good kick there, but Crowell not able to finish. And now we're gonna have a foul.
It's a good box by Baker to draw the over-the-back foul.
Here's Baker. When she's in, you're going to see her play that point guard role.
And you see coach calling out a play now. I think this is the first called play that they're running. I mean, it's been all fast break. And I don't even know if the shot clock's gotten down to 15 seconds since we've had it on offense. But
second foul there on Suggs. But that was all caused there by Claire Jordan. You saw her very active in the lane and just able to force Suggs into having to grab her to keep her from scoring the basketball. Baker looking for an opening, finds Benedict backside. Benedict gave it up. Now the 2-man game as Benedict pulls the long one. And there it is. Caitlin Benedict knocks it down. She's got 5 here in the early going. Montgomery kicks. Toccoa Falls searching for a basket. Reed gives it to Suggs. That shot missed. Benedict gave it back. Spivey misses the layup. A great find there by Benedict, but Spivey just not able to finish.
Yeah, and that was a good break. And I mean, I guess so far that's the story of the game. It's just everything's just kind of falling out. Nothing's dropping in the bucket.
Reed's three-pointer, missed it. She's taken a few early on. I mentioned that wrap on her elbow. That may be giving her some problems. Now Benedict in stride again. It's good yet again. Caitlin Benedict just picking up right where she left off last evening.
She sure is, and that comes right from running the break again. Coach is just loving this.
The confidence level of Benedict right now is sky high. You've seen her early on in her career. She dealt with some injuries, but you've even seen her. She struggled a lot turning the basketball over. But right now, after a couple good games in a row, she's pulling that shot all day long and knocking it down with consistency.
Yeah, and she has it in her head. You know, she comes up off the bench. She's in there to shoot, and she knows that. Coach knows that, so Coach is going to tell her, and she's just going to know herself that she's going to get in and start shooting.
Now, you played college basketball, Nathaniel. It was just for a season before your knees kind of started to mess with you a little bit. But how much does confidence play a role, you know, when you're going good to be making shots?
It's huge. I mean, especially like coming out of high school, going into college, the fans, you know, coming up. Nice play there, nice find, and nice bucket by Jordan.
Hustle play there by Baker as she got on the floor and then found a wide open Claire Jordan under the basket.
But even just hearing all the fans, you know, there's so much more talking than there was in high school. But it is kind of tough to stay strong mentally. So once you do find out a way to stay strong, then I mean you're just gonna I mean just like Caitlin is showing. I mean you're just gonna start doing great just like she's doing.
The good thing about Caitlin Benedict, it really seems like she's starting to find her role on this team. She understands she's not coming in the starting lineup, but man, when she comes off the bench, she's ready to go.
And she's accepting it. She's embracing it, and she's flourishing in it.
Cindy McElhaney stripped Montgomery, goes coast to coast for the easy finish. Lady Eagles, they struggled offensively early on, but they're turning it on as of late. Here's Montgomery. Her shot no good as Alvarez came away with it. Lady Eagles on the break again as Baker draws the contact, throws it up, and she's going to head to the free throw line.
And back to Caitlin embracing her role. That's the best thing as a coach that you want for some of your players coming off the bench. I mean, you might get a player that's you know kind of salty about not getting in the starting lineup, but if you come in off the bench knowing your role and accepting it, that's going to do a lot for the coach. Like he's going to see what you're doing, how you're doing it. And I mean, you may find yourself in the starting lineup.
Baker gets the first, hits them both. Lady Eagles lead by 15. It was 6-5, and now the Lady Eagles on a 14-0 run. Ball out of bounds, and that's going to do it here for the first quarter. Lady Eagles started slow. Head coach Jared Sellers brought his bench in pretty quickly, and then they were able to just turn it around. Lady Eagles lead by 15. We're going to take a break. And we're back here in between quarters as we get ready for the second quarter. Nathaniel, they start off slow, but a great offensive finish in that quarter, spearheaded by the play of Caitlin Benedict off the bench.
And a great heads up by Coach, seeing that his starters haven't gotten off to a great start. And when he did get his subs in, they didn't do anything different than the starters were doing. They were still pushing it. They were still in that trap. But they actually found a way to start knocking down shots, especially Benedict. She's got 8 now, so a great job by her coming off the bench. And staying strong mentally with the ball not already being in the basket, to come in and start getting the ball in the basket.
We're going to give that instant replay a chance here in the second half. Again on the first made three-pointer. Cindy McElhaney got it inside, but Jordan gets the 3-second call. Honestly, I haven't seen that called a lot at the college game, but in the last couple of games here in the Nest, we've seen that called a little bit more consistently, maybe a point of emphasis here for the officials. Quick stat check. Caitlin Benedict leads the team with 8 points. Jordan Reed with 3 for the visitors. Kick out, three-pointer on the way. That time by Crowell missed, and here come the Lady Eagles. Baker working it around, got it to Alvarez on the wing. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Now a tussle for the basketball, jump ball called. Cindy McElhaney got down and dirty there and able to pick it up.
Great hustle by Cindy. I mean, she's the smallest girl on the court for our team right now. She's out there wrestling for the ball.
Blue basketball, the Lady Eagles gonna get the next jump ball. Smith gets it across just in time. Now she drives the little teardrop runner. No good as Alvarez came down with it. Alvarez working it, gets to Jordan, now Baker on the wing, fed inside, the little jumper by Alvarez, no good. But Cindy McElhaney came down with it, the pass out to Baker, 3 on the way, no good. But Alvarez cleans it up and gets the easy 2.
Nice job by Alvarez. After missing that layup, that was a good cut by her and good find by Baker, missed the layup. She stayed down there and ended up with the offensive rebound and found herself a bucket.
Those are just Alvarez's first and second points of the basketball game, but she's already got 7 rebounds. Those are just unheard of numbers from a guard at this level.
Right now, nothing's falling for the Screaming Eagles.
Here's Spivey from Baker. That three-pointer, it's good. A great pass by Baker. Let's take another look.
And you see Baker drive in there, really draw on the defense, and then Spivey out there knowing she's gonna find the ball from Baker, and then she's able to knock it down.
I think we just worked that to perfection. That was pretty cool. The first time we've ever had a live instant replay here on the stream. On the other end, you saw the foul on the Lady Eagles. It was on Alvarez, her first. And Crowell going to head to the free throw line.
Eagles still working the ball around. Emma from the corner for 3. Left it short. Number 5 bringing the ball up for the Screaming Eagles. Setting up the offense. Eagles back in the 2-3 zone.
Here's Smith, now the kick out to Harris.
Eagles pushing the fast break again. McElhaney with the mid-range.
Last night we saw some quick triggers on that jump ball. Almost got one right there. Crowell kind of shoved off there, but missed the layup. Now Hardy able to come down with it, and here the Lady Eagles go looking to push. Alvarez drives, draws the contact, and she's going to head to the free throw line.
Smart play by Alvarez. Number 24, Jones, wasn't even turned around, didn't even see her coming down, so she drove right into her and was able to get a foul.
Foul there goes on Crowell, the senior from Wall Hollow, South Carolina. I probably just butchered that. Alvarez makes the first. Alvarez's second, no good. Battle for the basketball, and the Lady Eagles going to keep it. Caitlin Benedict making a difference yet again.
Good hustle by Benedict. I mean, the Screaming Eagles had their biggest girl on Benedict, and she was still able to get a tip off of Jones.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Benedict now left wide open. She pulls and she hits.
And Benedict hearing coach saying, "You got Kate, you got Kate, you got Kate." She knows that coach is looking for her to shoot, so why not just go ahead?
Caitlin Benedict with an early 11 points in this basketball game. It was 6-5 in this game, and since then, Lady Eagles on a 25-1 run.
And it's so nice. I mean, Benedict is spearheading that, you know.
I don't know what Alvarez can do differently on that play, though. She got called for the foul. Looked like she was straight up. Maybe she moving a little bit, but a tough foul call on Alvarez.
And good job by Smith. She's a quick guard. So she's just going to drive and look to draw a little bit of contact, and then kind of threw it up there and was able to roll in.
Smith made the basket, then hits the free throw. She tries to stop the bleeding. Here's Phelps the other way. That one missing off the side of the basket. It looked good out of her hands, but just a little bit off. Here's Reed, guarded by probably one of the better defenders at this level, Sandy McElhaney. She's not the quickest girl on the court, but just her length gives the offensive player a lot of problems.
And she's a very smart defender. She knows, she reads the offensive player. She knows when to go and look for a steal.
Smith, as the shot clock expired, missed it. Now Alvarez looking to run the break. Stutter steps over. That one out of bounds off the visiting Screaming Eagles.
It's a good move. She didn't see that last defender coming in behind her. She was able to get her hand on the ball.
McElhaney gets it to Phelps. Benedict playing with a lot of confidence, threw one up, missed it. One of her lone misses early on in this basketball game. Here's Harris now. The screen set by Jackson. Smith tried to feed it inside. Somehow Jackson got her hands. Sorry, that was Suggs. Shot clock expiring. Reed throws it up, and she knocks it down. You've seen Toccoa Falls really getting deep in the shot clock.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with the Eagles playing great defense. But Reed was able to drive in and then really high floater and got it to fall as the buzzer went off.
Benedict running the offense up top. High post entry, back outside McElhaney. She hit it, and I guess she shuffled her feet.
You see the girls do that a lot, and I think there were like 5 calls last night about girls just shuffling their feet right after they catch it. So it's just got to be a conscious thing where you got to be hopping as you catch it and not hop after you catch it to shoot.
McElhaney knocked that one down, but wave it off after the travel call. Toccoa Falls now on this side of the court. 31-11 Lady Eagles with just under 5 to go here in the second quarter. Long pass over to Reed. Suggs with a little turnaround jumper over Hardy. And Toccoa Falls trying to work their way back into it. Alvarez now inside Hardy. She draws the contact, got the opening, and finishes.
Great move by Hardy and a good find by Alvarez as Hardy came in back door and then she got around her defender for an easy layup.
Here's Smith trying to find some space. The Lady Eagles defense smothering. Benedict guards Crowell. Toccoa Falls forced to just reset.
Another floater falling down for Smith, but for the Fallen Eagles. As the Lady Eagles have played really good defense.
Hardy looking outside to McElhaney, now around to Benedict. Maybe the shooter's touch wearing off a little bit. Caitlin Benedict missed that one, but the Lady Eagles lead by 18 here deep in the second quarter.
And I think Coach wanted to put a little bit more pressure on maybe their ball handlers or something, so he switched from a 2-3 to a man. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot more great defense and a lot of hustle on the defensive end.
And that was one of his points of emphasis last night, and it really worked to perfection. His goal was really to apply a lot of pressure to Trinity Baptist, and he did it. And, you know, with a bench as deep as he has, you're kind of able to do a little bit more of that, run the pressure a little bit longer in the game than most teams are probably able to.
Because you're able to get a lot more fresh players as we see another sub coming in. So he can keep his players fresh.
McElhaney now over to Baker on the wing, the high post entry, kick out. Hardy from the baseline, no good, but somehow Alvarez came down with it. She's gonna finish. through the foul.
What a big play by Alvarez. Got that rebound right over her man, put it right back up while getting fouled. But before that play, that was great ball movement on the offensive end. The Eagles, I mean, I think each person had the ball for about like 1 second, and they just kept it moving. And then they got a wide open shot. Wasn't able to hit the shot, but Alvarez with the offensive rebound and then put back and the foul. As she finishes the and one, the Screaming Eagles call a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, but we'll be back shortly.
And we're back. Lady Eagles lead by 21 after the timeout by the visitors. Smith getting real close to a carry call there. Suggs inside, kicked it back out. Jackson now Reed for three. Smith with the hustle play led to the easy basket by Suggs.
Reed is somebody that you don't want to leave open, so Eagles a little lucky that she missed. As McElhenney puts up a three, no good. Alvarez, another offensive rebound. Knocked out of her hand, staying Lady Eagles ball.
I've mentioned this a couple times on the broadcast. I haven't seen a better rebounding guard at this level. Somehow, Lauren Alvarez always seems to be in the right location for either a defensive or offensive rebound.
I really don't know how she does it. I mean, she uses her body well, but she just has that it factor where, she's going to go get it, and you know she's going to go get it.
I got a chance last night to kind of talk to Jared Sellers, and one of the things we kind of started tossing lineup ideas around, and one of the ideas we came up with was, he was mentioning kind of what he would almost term like a lineup of death, where he, plays Alvarez at the 5, and he says, she's so good at rebounding, and I said to him, well, why not play, the taller McElhaney at the 5, and he says, well, Lauren, she's just a junkyard dog inside. She will go get the basketball. And that's why he's thought about that. And, man, that, against smaller teams, that lineup could be absolutely lethal. You'd have 5 guards on the court at one time.
And Coach would love that, the way he has them play, his play style. I'm sure that he would love to be able to do that. And you never know. I mean, you may find them doing that at some point during a game, maybe down the stretch or something, where maybe Emma's in foul trouble or something, and you never know. You may find him doing that.
Well, and that right there, that's the exact scenario he talked about. Emma Hardy gets in early foul trouble and potentially going to that lineup. So it'd be interesting to see later on. Maybe we get to see that type of lineup in this basketball game. Harris brought it across. Now she's going to pull the 3, but she missed. Tussle for the rebound, and Jackson came down with it.
And it looked like Claire had that rebound in her hand. I think Leah was going for a 2 and knocked it right out of her hands. And the Screaming Eagles found it and got a layup.
Lady Eagles lead by 17. They have the basketball. Imdek drives, kicks out to Baker. Baker going to drive the lane, gets the shot blocked by Jones, and here come the Screaming Eagles. Smith on the breakaway.
Good read there by Leah Phelps as they were trying to get Reed for an open 3. Lady Eagles still playing some solid defense. And good defense there throughout. Another offensive rebound by the Screaming Eagles, not able to put that layup in. as Baker's now pushing the fast break for the Lady Eagles.
Baker sends it over to the corner. McElhaney going to drive inside, lay it up off the glass, and let's take a look at that play again.
What a play there by Cindy. It looked a little awkward the way she drove in right here. Just a little rip through, a little Euro kind of, and then a little floater off the glass. Nice play there by Cindy.
Back live now as Smith tried to feed it inside to Jones, but a great play there by Phelps to get around her, and now she pushes the break. Kick out to Cindy McElhaney, give to Jordan, free throw line jumper. No good as Reed came down with it.
And that Jordan shot, you're going to think that she's going to make that, but you don't want to give that to her again. She's going to hit that.
Jones working hard inside, just threw it up. McElhaney tried to throw one deep, but that shot gonna do it for the first half. 38-19 on the scoreboard. Nathaniel, they started off slow, but the Lady Eagles finding a way to get that offense rolling again.
Great substituting methods by Coach, seeing that his starters haven't gotten off to the hottest start. So he gets some subs in there, and then especially Benedict. I mean, once she starts hitting, she's gonna keep hitting. She's gonna keep putting them up.
38-19 after the first half of basketball. We're going to take about a 2-3 minute break. We'll be back talking with Eagles assistant coach Marlon Gardner, and then we'll break down what you just saw in the first half.
You can scroll through hundreds of photos, but to truly experience college life, you'll have to visit us for College Days. During College Days at Pensacola Christian College, you can get that experience. Attend an engineering class one day and an art class the next. Listen to experts who share your passions and see how everything, from the classes to the people, is centered on the teaching from God's Word. And that's just the beginning. Visit us for College Days and experience what no photo can capture. A college dedicated to influencing the world for Christ.
And we're back. Both men's teams warming up here at halftime of the ladies' game. And as we've been kind of we're turning this into a little bit of a tradition, joined by Eagles assistant men's basketball coach Marlon Gardner before this game. Marlon, a tough loss last night.
Yes, it was. It was a very tough loss. Being down big in that game and then being able to fight back but not take the lead. So it was a hard loss for our guys last night.
Now, you mentioned being down big. I think you guys, if I remember correctly, down by as many as 13 in that first half.
Yes.
You guys kind of battled back. Noah Rawlings hits a big three right before half to get it back to 6. So you guys are going into the locker room trailing for the first time in a while. You guys have been leading at the locker room. What did Coach kind of say to the guys in that game that ultimately you feel like got them going in the second half?
I would say Coach said they were playing soft. Guys weren't physical, and that kind of probably put a little fire under them. And second half, they came out a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive, attacking both offensively and defensively, but in the end, just couldn't pull it out.
Now, I mentioned Noah Rawlings a second ago. He hit that big three-pointer right before halftime, and that was huge for you guys, kind of gave you some positive momentum. But then he came out in the second half and lit it up. 15 points for Noah Rawlings in the basketball game last night. A really big player for you guys off the bench last night.
Yeah, Noah stepped up big time in that second half. He was just kind of, whatever you put up went in, and he was just feeling it. And I told him at halftime, I was like, hey, just play your game. And he went out there, and he was a big help for us last night offensively.
Now, Trinity Baptist, a very good defensive team. They hold teams really low. Last night, no different. A 59-61 basketball game. You guys scored about 11 points under your season average. Your guards had some good games last night. Rawlings and Clay both played well, combined for 36. But your post players, Pratt and Woods, completely disappeared in that basketball game. Only 14 points combined for them.
Yeah, a lot of that came because we were shooting a lot of outside shots, and the perimeter guys were taking a lot of shots, and those guys didn't really get as many touches as they usually have, and we just got to get them more involved in the offense and get them more touches.
Now, Coach Getch, last night after the game, we talked about what to expect in this one. Toccoa Falls is a pretty good dribble drive team, and we saw you guys play against another good dribble drive team on Tuesday night against Mississippi University. It gave you guys some fits in the first half, really able to get inside, but then you guys kind of shut them down in the second half. What do you guys need to do tonight in order to better control the dribble dive right off the bat?
Coach has been preaching it these last couple of games. You got to guard your yard, measure up, know your strengths on defense. If a guy's faster than you, you got to take a couple steps off, but don't give up an easy open shot. So tonight our guys just got to guard their yard and just play hard on that defensive end, shut down that paint, squeeze it, make those lanes tiny for them to drive.
Marlon, we've done 2 of these. I always end these interviews asking you for a prediction. You're 1-1 on the season so far. What do you feel like tonight's game? How's it going to turn out for your team?
Tonight is going to be a hard, competitive game. Similar to last night's game, Toccoa is a pretty solid team. So I think it'll be a tight one, but I think we can come out with a W.
You heard it there from Marlon Gardner. I want to thank you for tuning in and joining us. We're going to throw it back for a commercial break. Me and Nathaniel Penley will be back to break down what you just saw in the first half of the girls' game.
You only have one life. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to influence your world for Christ? This is a place where you can be empowered to fulfill God's calling and pursue your passion.
Working as a physical therapist, it is a ministry all its own to just build a relationship with the people. I mean, that's my ultimate goal, is I want to help people get better.
I want to go to law school, get into a cybersecurity program. That way I can incorporate both programming and law, protecting companies from cybercrime.
I love being around people, and I love learning about people. I knew that with nursing, it wasn't just about helping people physically, like it was helping them spiritually too. That's what's important in life.
As I began to pray more, God, I have a huge decision to make. Where am I going to go to school? I only have one life. What do you want me to do with it? And he began to show me that what I enjoy doing can be used for his honor and for his glory. God led me to Pensacola Christian College to pursue my passion for finance through a biblical perspective.
I had told my pastor before coming here, I was like, I don't really like school, but I know I need to go for nursing. So I'm gonna go and I'll have to study really hard, and I just didn't really look forward to it. But now, like on my 3rd year, learning is so much fun, and I didn't feel like that freshman year.
I'll look back and I'll be like, man, I remember I used to struggle with that. And then maybe a freshman looks at what I'm doing and they're like, what are you even looking at? I'm like, this is easy stuff.
Incrementally, we're ready to do more, we're ready to face more, and to say, this may not be the easiest thing I've ever done, but it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Last summer, I did an internship in Germany in a genetics lab, and I was able to use the techniques and tools I had learned in the labs here over there, and it made so much more sense because I already knew what I was doing and why I was doing it.
I think teaching is communicating facts, but I think the bottom line for me with teaching is connecting the material so the students not only know it, but appreciate it and also know how to use it.
My teaching isn't about me, it's about where God is taking each individual student down the road.
We have great faculty and they honestly inspire me. Seeing all of these faculty members who have doctorates, you can definitely see what they've learned reflected through what they teach.
They'll constantly tell you, if you need something, come talk to me. I've had teachers other places, and they'll say that, but if you go up to them, they don't really want to give you the time or try to respond. And here, it's just totally different. You can just have a really good teacher-student relationship.
The faculty are saying it's going to take hard work and dedication to be the best at whatever you're doing for God's glory. That philosophy will always work.
Sometimes they'll ask us, what verse do you think would apply to this? How a verse would relate to a situation.
Biblical worldview is seeing all of my life through what God has shown us in Scripture.
And that's one of the reasons why I chose PCC in the first place, is to have faculty that love God to help me further my spiritual walk with Christ.
If my goal is to be in the will of God, it helps so much to know that my teacher has that same goal.
Everything that I see here is Christ-centered. Their main purpose is, we want you to see more of Jesus Christ. That is what I see in PCC.
Why is PCC here? It's to change lives to make them more like Christ. I hope that I can just have a little part of molding and shaping them like the Lord Jesus Christ.
They want students to come out of PCC and to make an influence and an impact on the world. I think their goal really is to change the world, and they do it one student at a time.
As president of PCC, I want you to know that we're committed to providing an excellent liberal arts education that's built upon the foundation and truths of God's Word. We won't compromise on biblical principles, and our purpose is to equip you for whatever it is God's called you to do. Make the most of this opportunity in life, and choose the college that best prepares you for that calling. PCC has so much to offer. We're located just minutes from the beautiful sugar white sands and emerald waters of Pensacola Beach. We're known for providing the best education value among accredited Christian colleges. And we have great facilities and activities that'll provide memorable experience to your college life. So as you think to the future and think about choosing a college, don't just choose a college because of its location, near home or by the beach. Don't just choose a Christian college because it's affordable like PCC is. And don't just choose a college because your friends go there and it looks like a fun place to attend. Choose a Christian college because God's called you there. Because that place will empower you to influence the world for Christ in whatever God's called you to do.
Welcome back to the Lady Eagles broadcast. You see, as the Eagles started this game, they weren't able to get it off to a good start. So Coach brought the subs in, and Caitlin Benedict especially was able to lead them. She's right now 3 for 4 for threes. So with about 2 minutes left in this halftime, we're looking for her to get off to a good start. We'll be back.
And we're back. Both teams making their way to center court. It's going to be Toccoa Falls basketball to start. Check that. Actually, Lady Eagles basketball. They're going to be coming our way this time around. A great first half for the Lady Eagles. They lead 38-19 as we head here into the third quarter.
And with their shots not falling at first, I want to see if they can get it inside to Emma and Grace. We definitely have the size and the height advantage. And look, it looks like they're going right to the middle at first. And look at that, going right to the bigs as we have a big size advantage. So let's see if they continue to do that in the second half.
I'm going to start calling you coach over here. That was a great play call, Nathaniel.
Thank you, thank you.
The runner by Smith misses as Hardy came down with it. Now Alvarez with the basketball, finds a wide open Cindy McElhaney. She drives inside, threw it up, no good. And Toccoa Falls came away with the basketball. Those last points by Imdek gave her 5 in the basketball game. Now here's Reed on the other end. That shot short. Alvarez came down with the rebound, her team leading 11th rebound in the basketball game. Step back three-pointer by Hardy. Shot misses, but Imdek working hard, and she just kind of threw one up over the back and gets fouled.
Saw in that last possession too, she, trying to get that offensive rebound, wasn't able to, but I mean, she's still working down there, and that time she was able to get the offensive rebound and then draw a foul.
Imdek at the free throw line. She's got 5 in the basketball game. Missed the first free throw.
So I think that was a point of emphasis during the halftime. The coach giving the talk to the team, telling his bigs to start working down there on their bigs, see if they can get some advantages.
Here's Imdek's second on the way. That one going to fall. Imdek was 6 points for the Lady Eagles and only just over 7 minutes for her. Smith nearly lost it. Jordan was open for 3, but she's been cold back there. Gave it to Crowell. Crowell's three-pointer on the way, and it's good. Grace Crowell give her 4 points after the made three-pointer.
A nice driving kick there by Reed, finding the open Crowell.
Here's Alvarez now on the wing. She's got a wide open Sandy McElhaney. Her shot missed, but Imdek came down with it. If Imdek had just turned around, there was no one behind her. It would have been an easy layup.
Yeah. And on Sandy's shot right there, she had somebody closing in on her, and I saw Emma at the short corner. So I think if she would have swung that one more pass, Emma had a jump shot, and if she would have drove and drove that last defender, Grace would have been wide open for a layup.
After 3 fantastic games in a row by McElhaney, not having her best offensive night, really still searching for her first basket, but it goes to show the depth of this Lady Eagles team when one of your star players not able to get it going on offense, to have players that still allow you to keep rolling, and that's why they're still up by 19.
Correct, yeah. And Coach did a great job just knowing his team and then using them in the right spots.
Phelps going to bring the ball into the front court. Alvarez has got Phelps open on the wing. They're trying to get it inside to Imdek. Alvarez gets it there, now back outside. They work it around. Phelps wide open on the backside, pulls the 3, and it's good. A great pass there by McElhaney. Let's take another look at that one.
Tough shot by Leah Phelps as 2 defenders were coming out to her, and that's just hard. That's just nice concentration right there. 2 defenders, hand up, and great concentration by Phelps to hit that 3.
What a play there by Phelps. The Lady Eagles up by 22. Another great instant replay. Fun to bring that to you guys for the first time.
I'm loving this instant replay.
Great job in the back by our team. They got to be quick on the trigger, and they're doing a great job so far tonight. Hardy got the big block. Here's Alvarez running the court. Fastball forward, now kick back. Here's Alvarez, no good. You've gotten pretty used to seeing Alvarez knock those down. I had my made call already ready.
I could hear your voice getting really high. Thinking that she's going to make it and not able to hit it. But the Eagles once again pushing the fast break.
McElhaney feeds it inside. Hardy got there but had it blocked. You'd like to see her maybe just jump, stop, plan it, let the defender fly by her, and then just the easy layup.
That was a great find by McElhaney, and a nice pass, nice touch on that pass where she got a lot of air under it. And then Reed coming up out of nowhere, really came up behind Emma to get that block.
And we see, Emma misses that shot, but you mentioned there Jordan Reed, a great hustle play by her to get back into the play.
Another block by Reed from the back. She's doing a nice job being sneaky and getting behind our players.
Imdek now under 10 seconds on the shot clock. They give it to McElhaney. She nearly walked now outside Phelps. Shot missed it and lands on the baseline out of bounds. Lady Eagles turn it over.
Eagles once again, I mean, they're getting open shots. And we saw Leah hit that one last possession, but just a little bit out of sorts. I don't know. There's just something where they're just not hitting everything like they normally do.
Here's Reed. She's got 5 points in the basketball game. Gives it outside to Smith. The three on the way, but they battle inside for the basketball. Hardy took a hit, but Imdek able to come down with it.
And Hardy wasn't able to get that rebound by herself, so she tipped it to one of her teammates as she was falling and hit the floor pretty hard.
Alvarez skip pass over to Phelps inside Hardy. She tried to get it back, but even Sandy McElhaney with those long arms not able to get to that pass by Hardy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a drawn-up play where she knows where she's supposed to pass it, so she kind of went and turned around and threw it, but she didn't have her eyes up. She didn't see where she was passing it, so she kind of threw it out of bounds.
Lady Eagles offense not on quite the same pace as we saw last night, but still leading here by 22. Alvarez up ahead to Phelps. Phelps got it back to Alvarez. One more. McElhaney, the 17-footer, missed it, but Phelps able to chase down the long rebound.
Nice find there by Phelps. Nice little dish there. And Imdek with a nice floater.
Leah Phelps is such a great basketball player. She's playing as a freshman, 32nd time out on the court. We'll stay right here. But Leah Phelps, what she's able to do, she's so athletic from the guard position. She gets the offensive rebound right there, then able to dribble inside, pass it out to a wide open Imdek. She's got the great hustle, but she also has phenomenal court vision.
Yeah, and she can really do it all. You saw her a couple possessions ago hit a three with two people coming at her with their hands up. She's a great defender also. And then, I mean, the defenders knowing that she can hit a three, they got to respect that, so they come out. So then now she drives in and is able to draw two people again and dishes it to Imdek for a nice wide open layup.
And we really haven't seen for the Lady Eagles a guard this athletic that is also able to guard. I mean, but the other thing to mention here, we mentioned kind of the embarrassment of riches at the guard position for head coach Jared Sellers, but really all of them bring something different. You got Baker off the bench. She's going to look to distribute the ball a little bit more. Phelps kind of brings the defense, and her offense is starting to come around. Then you've got Benedict, who's just a pure shooter. Then you've got Alvarez. I mean, I could go on and on and on here.
And it's so nice for the coach to have all those weapons at his disposal. Whenever something isn't going right in a game, he knows, okay, I'm going to this person, put this one in to get exactly what I want out of this person, and he knows what he's going to get.
And I think you made a great point a few minutes ago. That's what makes a great coach, is the ability to know how to get your players in specific roles.
Yeah.
And he does a great job at substituting players, knowing when to get Benedict in there for a spurt. She knocks down a few threes, knowing when to get Baker in there when we just need some more distribution. So a great job there by head coach Jared Sellers.
Exactly right. He knows what he's doing. That was a great and one there by McElhaney, driving in, drawing the contact, and finishing strong.
McElhaney gets three the old-fashioned way, and the Lady Eagles pouring it on here in the nest. They find themselves leading by 27 with 4:43 to go. Reed was open for a split second before Alvarez jumped out there. Now Smith runs inside, and Emma Hardy just continues to dominate the lane. McElhaney got the rebound. Now Alvarez from the top drives inside, 15-footer on the way. Her shot no good.
Both pull-up shots right there. I mean, we're just used to seeing them go in. And it's just something a little bit off for these starters, not able to find most of the shots that they hit. Wow.
Smith threw a wild one up there over Hardy and somehow got it to go.
Oh, man. Another one just not able to go down for the Lady Eagles.
Sandy McElhaney's had a couple good games of late, but just unable to buy a basket this evening. Here's Smith. She drives, kicks. Jackson gave it back to Reed. That shot by Crowell misses. Now battle for the basketball underneath, and it's going to stay Toccoa Falls basketball.
On the defensive end, the Eagles came out in a 2-3 zone. I think part of that is to be able to keep Smith in front of them. I'm not sure if he knows one of his people can keep her in front, so having a zone is going to make it tough for her to drive in. She's going to have to dish, and I mean all game they haven't been able to shoot. So make her drive in and dish, and they just haven't been able to shoot. So it's working out for the Lady Eagles.
A fresh 5 for the Lady Eagles. Baker, Cindy McElhaney, Claire Jordan, Maddie Spivey, and Caitlin Benedict into the basketball game. Head coach Jared Sellers throwing a little bit different look. We've seen a lot of guards out there. He throws 2 bigs in there with Spivey and Jordan. Going to see what they could potentially do in this basketball game.
Yeah, in the first play in the second half, he went right to his big, so maybe he's planning on doing the same thing here with his two bigs off the bench.
Montgomery left wide open in the corner. Here's Crowell, Montgomery. They tried to get it back, but Cindy McElhaney stepped in the lane, gives it to Benedict. The running layup is good, and that Lady Eagles worked it to perfection.
Beautiful fast break there. Cindy with a nice read on the defensive end, drawing the defense, and a little touch pass to get Benedict the easy layup.
I believe we just saw a timeout on the court, and it is indeed. Lady Eagles lead this one 51-24 with 2:57 to go. We're going to take a break. And we're back here in the nest, 51-24 on the scoreboard. Lady Eagles offense doing well again tonight. We saw an offensive explosion in last night's game. They end up winning that basketball game by 40 and well on their way to doing it again.
And the bench has been vital in that. The starters, both halves, weren't able to get off to a great start, and the bench has really picked them up.
Baker got the steal on that one. They gave it to Cindy McElhaney. Spivey inside. Jordan got the offensive rebound. And the Lady Eagles just unable to convert, but the Bigs had opportunities inside.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing, basically the same thing the starters that just did. I mean, we saw earlier Sandy missing a wide open layup. 2 layups right there, just rolling out. Something's just a little off.
Montgomery fell down on the play. Benedict came up with it. Cindy McElhaney the other way. Her shot blocked by Reed, but the Lady Eagles going to keep the basketball.
Another nice defensive play by Reed. And you mentioned that tape on her arm in the first half. I mean, she's obviously taking it off. I don't know, maybe it was messing her up a little bit, but she hasn't done much in the second half either.
She was only 2 of 8 from the field at half. And it looked like the tape maybe came off in the last couple of minutes. Here's a 3 by Benedict, and it's good.
Perfectly executed play, or out of bounds play, drawn up by coach, and the Eagles ran it perfectly. And on the other end, Benedict, I mean, she's all over them defensively right after hitting a 3.
That three-pointer gave her 14 points in the basketball game. Caitlin Benedict really doing a great job off the bench. That ball fed inside. That was number 14 for Toccoa Falls, who got the basketball. That was Delana Smith, and that foul goes on Hope Baker. Some good back and forth between head coach Jared Sellers and Hope Baker out here. Lady Eagles lead by 30.
She's claiming it was all ball. He's saying the broadcasters, everybody in the gym knows that she picked up a foul.
Hey, I've said it a few times on these broadcasts. I've never met a basketball player that actually thinks they fouled somebody. Literally, I think you just have to have that look in your tool chest for, like, when a foul gets called, you kind of just throw your hands up and say, me?
Yeah. I think if you actually talk to the ref and say, hey, that was a good call, that was a foul on me. I mean, you may get some calls later on in the game. So.
Well, he'll probably look at you with a surprised face man, I'm used to everyone saying I didn't foul him. I got to admit, officials, when they're good, it's probably one of the most underappreciated roles, like a good official, because
it really is.
Everyone is so, as an official, you're so used to everyone criticizing you.
I mean, your goal as an official is to you don't want anybody to know that you were even there at the game, You want to get in there, call a good game, and, I mean, if nobody's yelling at you, you did a good job.
They're going to reset the shot clock to 18 seconds. Crowell going to inbound the basketball out to Reed. The Benedict right on her. Offensive foul that time on Smith. Lady Eagles take over. Jordan spins, lays it up, and it's good. Claire Jordan.
That's something that I haven't really seen out of Jordan. I mean, she caught the ball. She backed down right away, and she was looking to score. Usually she doesn't really look to score. She looks to facilitate and rebound a little bit more, but she made up her mind. She was going up for a bucket right there.
Reed was left open. Now she drives the give to Smith, but Cindy McElhaney stepped in the passing lane. Cindy's got some wide open teammates up forward. Got the offensive rebound after Baker missed it. Lady Eagles swinging it around, out to Spivey, her three, good.
Man, that looked good. What a defensive play, defensive read by Cindy. As Reed was looking to make that pocket pass, Cindy read that, finally able to get the ball all the way up to the offensive end. A couple passes around in there, and then Spivey hitting the three.
Crowell inside Smith, easy layup, kind of a broken defensive play there for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, and that came by Toccoa swinging the ball all the way around the horn, and I think Claire found herself maybe out of position, and then Spivey wasn't able to slide over quick enough.
McElhaney got in deep. Now kick out Benedict as the shot clock expires and the buzzer. That shot no good. But a great third quarter for the Lady Eagles in this one. They scored 21 points in that quarter and now lead in the basketball game by 32, Nathaniel.
And you really saw, it was basically the same story as the first half, where something was just a little bit off with the starters, where like some layups weren't falling, some little pull-up shots just weren't falling, and then the bench comes in and really helps them out. And it's really nice for Coach to have a strong bench to come in and really support the starters.
I mean, as we've mentioned over the last couple of games, it's really been McElhaney and Alvarez doing all the work. And if I told you as going into the fourth quarter before this game that the two of them would have a combined 8 points in this basketball game, you might think it's a close game. But the Lady Eagles lead by 32, really a testament to the rest of this basketball team outside of Alvarez and McElhaney.
And it's not just the bench coming in, really helping the starters, it's the bigs too. We knew coming in that we had a big size advantage, and Coach might have recognized that in the first half. So first play he calls in the second half is a play right to both of the bigs. So it's nice to have a really well-rounded team, starters all the way around, and then bench coming in and really supporting them.
Well, and me and him have talked a little bit as you start to look forward and, hopefully another national tournament run this season. He's mentioned, I love the guard play of my team, but I really need to see my bigs start to get a little bit more involved. He's trying to do that right here, and getting his bigs more involved could really help him down the road when you go up against a team like Maranatha, who's got two strong bigs. So I think it's good to be getting minutes for the bigs right now.
Absolutely. You're going to want, going into regionals and nationals, you're going to want every aspect of your team working, not just your bench coming in strong or just your guards out on the floor. You're going to want everything working going into those tournaments.
Benedict, leading all scorers with 16 points. She missed that three-pointer. Lady Eagles shooting just over 34% from behind the three-point arc in this basketball game so far. You know, I've mentioned it a few times, that bench for the Lady Eagles, but I'm looking at a stat sheet that we just got. Lady Eagles bench outscoring them 32-9 in this basketball game. I didn't expect the margin to be that wide, but really this bench playing extremely well.
And like you said earlier, as Benedict pulls up another three, man, she's been feeling it all night. But like you said earlier in the games, he's going to try to get Cindy more minutes. And so she's one of those guards coming in off the bench that's going to be really big down the stretch and into the tournaments.
Benedict, 19 points in just over 13 minutes of basketball. A great performance by her, and now Benedict leaks out. This time gives it back to Baker. Her first thought was three-pointer, but gave it up. Here's Benedict inside to Spivey. The easy little dump pass there, and Spivey able to finish.
Nice flash there by Spivey, finding the open spot along the paint, and then an easy floater.
Maddie Spivey having a sneaky good game for the Lady Eagles. She's got 8 points in this basketball game after that two-pointer. Cindy McElhaney drives it up to Benedict, gave it back to Baker. The fastball by Baker inside to Jordan. You see Carissa Aiken checking into the basketball game. Nathaniel, this Carissa Aiken, one of those players that I'm really looking forward to see develop. There's been some lofty comparisons thrown out about her of where she could be in a couple years, but she hasn't really gotten a ton of minutes. But when she is, because of her length and where she plays on the court, really a good basketball player that could turn into a great basketball player over the next couple of years for the Lady Eagles.
I think that's going to come with her finding her role. Right now, she played point guard in high school, and coach needs bigs, especially coming up in the next couple of years. So he's trying to turn her into a big so she can be one of those wings or stretch fours. But she's just got to find her role. She's got to find her niche, find her way going forward.
Well, and you mentioned stretch four. That's really become a buzzword in the basketball game as the advance of more three-point shooting has started to happen. You're trying to look for more players even deeper in your lineup. You don't see a lot of true centers anymore, and it's really important to have those fours that could step out and hit an occasional three. Emma Hardy, a great example of that. She plays at the 5 role, but able to kind of step out and hit that three from time to time, and it keeps the defense honest.
Yeah, and Carissa isn't the biggest of girls. She's really athletic, but she has great size, so it's going to be big for her if she's able to develop a three-point shot.
Cindy McElhaney got the steal, got it to Benedict, and now she goes the other way. Offensive foul called on her. It's really been fun to watch Benedict and Cindy McElhaney out on the break. Those two really seem to feel like they know where they're at all times, and they really look good out on the break.
And Caitlin's always looking to release. Usually she's the shooter or she's one of the guards on the defensive end, so she's looking to release. And Cindy, she's had her hands everywhere. She had 3 steals in the first half. She's gotten 3 or 4 in the last 5 possessions here on defense. So that's really big with her standing out defensively coming off the bench.
Timeout on the court with the Lady Eagles leading by 35 here with 7:18 to go in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break. We're back here as the clock continues to tick in the fourth quarter, looking more and more like the Lady Eagles going to improve to 13-9 on the season. They've really been rolling lately. They're winners of 5 in a row, and it looks like it's going to go to 6 here, Nathaniel. Here's Phelps out ahead of the pack. But Toccoa falls. That was Sullivan who stepped in the passing lane and got the steal off the Phelps pass.
And it's great to see them coming out and still playing strong. 64-29. They're not going to look to give up the lead at all. I mean, defensively, we've gotten so many steals in the last several possessions.
Here's Phelps, coast to coast, threw it up, shot no good. Leah Phelps got the ball in the backcourt and really just a one-man game there, able to get out in front of some of the Toccoa Falls players, and that ended up forcing the foul.
And that's something that we talked about earlier. She's just an all-around great, not just athlete, but I mean player. She's a great on-ball defender. She gets her hands active. She's quick on the fast break. She always has her eyes open, and then she's a good finisher also. Not just always going in out of control. She's usually able to gather herself and find a way to get the ball in the bucket.
In her freshman year, she's really gotten good at bringing these, 8, 10-point performances. She's going to pick up some assists. She's going to control the offense really well. But Leah Phelps, she's one of those players that when she's hot, she can really light it up, and she can drop a 20-point game whenever she wants.
And her teammates know that when she's feeling it and if she's feeling it, they're going to be able to get the ball to her. She's not really a ball dominant. Like you see her standing in the corner, always looking to – she's always ready to shoot. So if she does get the pass, she's going to be ready to shoot.
Alvarez outside to Cindy McElhaney. Let's take a look at that again. A great pass there by Alvarez.
Nice offensive rebound by Alvarez, and then Cindy just found herself wide open in the corner. So she just kicked out and was able to knock that down.
Toccoa Falls on the other end, missed it. Cindy McElhaney pushing it, the spin move, gives it go, and Phelps finishes. She's got 9 on the basketball game.
That's really fun to watch. Cindy's been really active, like I said, defensively, and then she's pushing the ball a lot. And then Phelps didn't just stay out on the wing as she saw that Cindy drew that last defender, so she cut in and got a wide open layup.
We just mentioned a few moments ago how fun it is to watch Benedict and Phelps out on the break. That time we saw Cindy McElhaney and Leah Phelps, another fun pairing. Those two really push it at a fast pace.
And that makes the game a really, really fun to watch is the fast break. I mean, that's one of the most enjoyable things about basketball. So when you have all these guards and all these athletic players, you're just going to see them running back and forth, and it just makes the game so much more fun.
A fresh lineup for head coach Jared Sellers, Imdek, Hardy, Cawthon, Deloach, and Porter. Cawthon, good catch of the basketball, gave it to Porter. She got inside but just missed the layup. Some good ball movement there from, I guess, maybe this third unit for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, and you see the two bigs out there, the two starters, but he is getting those other guard and wing players some more minutes, and he's just leaving the bigs out there just kind of control the game. Still with 5 minutes left to go, you don't want to give it too many points.
And as I mentioned, you really have seen a concerted effort by him to try to get his bigs involved a little bit more tonight. They barely got involved last night. They didn't need to. Tonight he's just trying to give them some minutes. A great pass backdoor by Imdek, and Cawthon finished with easy 2.
Yeah, he's just getting them more comfortable playing against the zone, and you see that with Imdek coming up, flashing up to the high post, and then not just catching it and passing right back out, but she caught it, pivoted, looked to see what she had, and found a wide open person under the basket for at least for 2.
Suggs tried to throw it back to Campbell, and honestly, the last couple of nights the Lady Eagles have played some great basketball. But time and time again on that post-game interview, the thing he keeps saying to me is, I'm getting these, my third unit in here, and they're just not playing as well as I'd really like to see them play well. So it'll be interesting to see if these players can play well. Here's the three-pointer. Elise Cawthon knocks it down. The big smile by Cawthon. She hasn't had a lot of minutes this season, but she's one of those sharpshooters that may really get some time in the coming years.
And like you said, that third unit not really playing well, maybe that's another reason he's leaving his bigs out there, just to kind of control, especially against the zone. You're going to be wanting to look in the middle to the bigs for the zone, so they're just really controlling everything on offense, making it look a little bit better.
Lady Eagles able to force the turnover there. Cawthon just kind of bowled that one over to Imdek. Now Imdek running the break. She got caught playing a little bit too fast there. She was thinking pass, but her body wasn't going to let her. Turnover on Imdek as Fleshman and Davis check into the basketball game. Sorry, Fleshman and Young, excuse me. 5 guards on the court for the Lady Eagles, but really not much of a height difference between these two teams right now. Sullivan drives in, throws it up, and it's good. Give some credit to Toccoa Falls, continuing to battle here. They're down 40, but continuing to battle in the basketball game.
And if you're the Eagles, you're looking to really work the ball around to use some clock, especially with the guards. Just working the ball around the horn, maybe look for an open shot. Or if you do something like that, nice job there by Amber driving in and finding Young.
You've got a bunch of players out here right now that haven't got a lot of minutes this year, but I think you've got a couple out here that you really say have some potential for the Lady Eagles to really start to move into the lineup a little bit more. Elise Cawthon, a sharpshooter off the bench, and then Amber Porter, I think a player that we haven't even seen her start to play well. She could become a really good player for the Lady Eagles maybe in year 2 or 3 of her career.
Yeah, so that's why you see them out there just getting these experience minutes. Yeah, Amber was going to be – they were hoping for her to have a big role this season, and then she got a lot of injuries early on, so she hasn't found her role yet. But she's still a freshman. I mean, he's going to need her in the coming years, like you said.
Montgomery pulls the three-pointer. It misses as Young came down with the rebound. Young over to Deloach. Deloach with the firm pass to Cawthon. Cawthon, they were trying to get it inside to Young that entire possession. But the turnover there as Cawthon's pass not able to hit Young. Campbell drove baseline, tried to get it to Sullivan, and that one gonna go out of bounds as Sullivan tried to chase it down. Deloach running the point for the Lady Eagles. Here's Porter pulling the three-pointer. That shot no good. And now just a miscommunication there between Sullivan and Wallace as it goes out of bounds. Lady Eagles keep it. Nathaniel, we've watched some really great Lady Eagles basketball over the last couple of nights. What's been the thing that's just impressed you the most? We've talked a lot about the bench scoring. We've talked about Alvarez and McElhaney. But really, what has impressed you with this basketball team?
I mean, I can't really go much deeper than just saying the bench. I mean, it's just been so important in all aspects, especially with Cindy coming back and getting some more minutes. So you got some really strong defense with Baker and Cindy, and then even Benedict. I mean, she plays really hard on the defensive end. And then being able to score is huge. Usually you see like a college bench, maybe a high school bench. Coming in, you're going to see a lot of athletic and defensive type players. But to have somebody like Benedict coming off and being able to score so well, that's really impressive and that really speaks to how well-rounded this team is.
Campbell's long-range three, and we're going to get a timeout. I think we're just using that to get some players in. Not sure if we got a timeout or if it was just a play stoppage. I think just a play stoppage. Lady Eagles lead this one by 40. This game decided a long time ago. Lady Eagles going to move to 13-9 on the season. They're really rolling 6 games in a row. This will give them 10 of their last 12 games being victories. After starting off a bit slow, to start to kind of get on that roll as you're getting ready for the tournament play has to be huge for this basketball team.
And if you're going to start getting on a roll, if you're going to start becoming like a hot team, now is the time you want to do it. It's the second half of the season. We're getting close to the tournament time. So now is when you want to be hot like we are. So that's great for our team.
Now, Nathaniel, how do you begin? Okay, so you've won the last 2 games. Both of these games more than likely going to be either last night was over 40, tonight going to either be 40, really close to 40. So both of these games have been extremely lopsided. You've had some lopsided games of late. How do you kind of mentally keep yourself working hard in these games? Because you know that you're going to be playing better teams down the road. Next weekend, a big-time matchup against Bob Jones University. They're ranked in the top 10. But then ultimately, you're going to go into the regional tournament and potentially a national tournament. So how do you keep yourself mentally? How do you keep, have that edge even when you're having these lopsided games?
That is a very tough thing to do. And I think that starts with coach keeping that on the table, letting the players know that that's what they have to do. So you're going to want to stick to your game plan no matter what the scoreboard is. So if you're going out there as the starters, you need to be focused on what he talked to you pregame. Your bench, they got to stay focused knowing what their role is coming in and playing with intensity. You don't want to start playing, if you're up by so much, you want to start playing down to the level or just kind of mediocre. You want to stick to what you do and keep playing hard.
Now you mentioned the role that head coach Jarrett Sellers plays into that, but even a player like Lauren Alvarez, she's a very vocal leader on the team, you know, a very gritty player. That has to help because when her teammates start to slack a little bit, I've already been told that she'll give it to them a little bit in practice, really trying to force a good play out of her teammates.
And you're going to need somebody just like her. I mean, she's like a perfect example of it. You need somebody on your team that's going to tell you, like, get back in your place, you know, especially being a leader. And as a player, if you're not in that leadership role, you have to learn to listen to the captains of the team and know your place to where if they tell you, I mean, they're telling you for a reason, and they're most likely getting that reason from the coach. So you're going to want to, you know, be able to listen to them and fix yourself to be able to stay focused, especially going into tournament time.
That's going to do it here in the Nest. Lady Eagles come away victorious. They move to 13-9 on the season, and they keep their winning ways alive. They push the winning streak to 6 games, a great game from start to finish for the Lady Eagles. They're going to huddle it up here in the middle, but we started this new tradition where head coach Jarrett Sellers will come over and join me in a few moments to talk about what we just saw. I'm sure a lot to talk about. A great performance by the Lady Eagles. I mentioned at the end of the third quarter, McElhaney and Alvarez, a quiet basketball game tonight, only 9 for them, but it really goes to show how good this Lady Eagles basketball team is.
And that's huge for the rest of the basketball team to be able to step up because you never know. I mean, come tournament time, one or both of them, like today, could have just a little off night. And so these games are gonna prepare the rest of the team to step up when needed, and that's gonna help moving forward.
The two coaches talking. We're gonna keep it right here for a couple moments. He's gonna head over this way. We're going to stay right here. We were trying to, head coach Jarrett Sellers, is a new tradition. He was trying to get away from me. He's going to come back over and join us. We get his headset on. And we're back here with head coach Jarrett Sellers after an 82-36 victory for your squad. Coach, one of the biggest things you've talked to me over the last couple of nights, you've been happy with the performance, but when you bring in that third squad, they haven't done as well. Tonight, I think they played pretty well at the end of the basketball game.
Yeah, they did, and I probably should have subbed a little different at the end. I saw that Tyler over there had pulled a few people out. I probably should have done that. But what I did is I left a few players who play a lot of minutes with some that don't to get them some rhythm. So I left Emma and Grace and put Lauren and Sandy in, and to kind of help like play 2 of them with that bottom group a little bit, and it really helped their rhythm and their rotation a little bit better. That's how they practice, and so sometimes maybe I hadn't been setting them up for the best end of game experience.
Now, the one thing, kind of almost maybe your nightmare scenario as a coach, Alvarez and McElhaney both have slow games in this one. They only combined for 9 points. But what does it say about this team that on a night when they don't play extremely well, you guys still go out and hang 82 on the scoreboard?
We did not shoot the ball well, and our pace wasn't. And a lot of that, Toccoa did not play great offensively, but they really competed in their matchup. And even though it looked like we weren't maybe shooting the ball well, they were rotating and shifting and really defending hard. A lot of it was they weren't playing real well offensively and missing a lot of things on the offensive end. But defensively, they were getting after it. And I mean, I'm fortunate that we won the way we did when it really kind of felt like a lackluster night offensively from Sandy and Lauren. Lauren still ended up with 13 rebounds.
Now we noticed, kind of a concerted effort to get your bigs involved a little bit more in the basketball game. I see Hardy ends up finishing with 4. Imdek got involved. And then ultimately Maddie Spivey as well. So a good game from the bigs.
It was. Well, if you watched our first half, it was nothing but ping pong back and forth down the court. We were shooting the ball. We were missing our post players. And our post players kind of getting tired of running up and down the court without touching the ball every now and then. So we talked about it at halftime and found them a few times, which was great. The one thing that I thought tonight we did not do well, and we'll definitely talk about this in practice, is we missed a few people where we just didn't find them in the trail. Maddie Spivey's 2 for 2 from the top of the key, and she's standing down there 2 times in a row. And we just, for whatever reason, I don't know if we're a little slow, maybe the tailgate party today, I don't know what, but our head just wasn't finding them like we needed to kind of fill our great rhythm. But, I mean, overall, I'm glad we won. I mean, the girls played hard. I just like us to have been a little bit more efficient.
Now, I know you got to get back to your team, but one more quick question tonight. The play of Leah Phelps and Cindy McElhaney, those 2 guards really playing well, really your guards as a whole playing well. You know, Benedict gets kind of the headlines with 19 in this basketball game, but Cindy McElhaney, a great game off the bench. She's been injured. It's going to be good to have her back.
Yeah, well, tonight she looked like Cindy from the first semester. I mean, we have 7 points, 7 assists, 6 steals. I mean, That's the Cindy that was playing early on. If Cindy comes back playing like that, it's great. It's going to cause some problems for me because I got to figure out the rotations. But
Not
man,
a bad problem to have as a coach, I'm sure.
No, but man, Cindy played well tonight, and she's starting to find that rhythm. Again, I wish we'd have been a little bit better rhythm. We made 12 threes tonight. We probably should have made 15 or 16, but I'm happy with the we're always got to be happy with the win. The girls played hard. Toccoa is really competing defensively. If Toccoa would have shot the ball a little bit better from three, it would have been a lot closer than what it is. And even though the score is like that, they did play hard.
Coach, congratulations on yet another victory, your 6th in a row. Want to thank you for tuning into this basketball game. Make sure you come back in just a few moments for the men's game. Should be yet another good basketball game. Thanks for tuning in.